Hey crew, it's Thursday, June 23rd, and I thought I'd make a quick video to say hi. Sarah and I are heading over to, actually, Gareth and Carew and Bryn as well, heading over to Scott O'Daniels for Maura's birthday party tonight in about 20 minutes. So that should be fun. Yesterday I watched the U.S. play Panama in the afternoon at 4 o'clock, and it was a good match. It was a little painful to watch. Panama just bunkered and actually played a pretty good game against the U.S. The U.S. was unable to break them down. The interesting thing was that once again, Bob Bradley chose to sit Donovan on the bench, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm not sure what the reason is, but actually, I on my big soccer bulletin board actually suggested that it might be a good idea. Donovan's looked tired. He played 2 games a week for the 3 weeks previous to coming to Gold Cup, and so he'd played what 9 games in a month, and then he had that trip to California to his wedding and got back late and only played the last half hour of the previous match against Jamaica, um, and came in and made a difference. And then in this game, he came in at halftime for Sasha Kljestan, and didn't it was crazy. It was actually frustrating to watch because the U.S. really dominated Jamaica, and they held possession against Panama, and Panama basically sat back and dared them to try to break them down. And the U.S. didn't do a good job. They weren't moving off the ball. Every time they get a pass, it was 2 or 3 touches, just or 3 or 4 touches, just slowing everything down too much. And I was screaming at the screen and telling them to pass the ball quicker. I was pointing at the openings, and which is always easy when you're sitting on your butt. but but yeah, it was frustrating. And so then when Donovan came in the second half, he had initially a couple good touches. It looked like he had some energy, and then he just didn't see the ball at all, and Dempsey didn't either. And then with 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left, maybe a little bit more, uh, they subbed in Freddie Adu, and Freddie Adu had not been with the national team for 2 years. He would been a surprise call into camp. There'd been all this stuff about it early in the tournament. He didn't even make the 18-man roster. He made the 18-man roster against Jamaica, and then made it again for this match, and then came in with 15 minutes left. He looked really good. Looked really good. And actually, the thing about Adu in the past is that he's always tried to do too much. He's always gotten the ball, and he always tries to dribble through 3 people, and he would always beat. He's got beautiful touch, and he would beat somebody, and then he wouldn't know what to do next. And at this level, guys are looking for they're covering. So you beat one guy, and there's another guy there, and you just there's not many people who can be like Lionel Messi and can beat 3 or 4 guys, and still score. And Adu would get the ball, and the defense would know what he was going to do, and they would just, you know, stay with him till he screwed up. And he was the place where attacks went to die, but he would look really good killing the attack. Anyway, in this he came in, and we were playing a 4-5-1 or a 4-2-3-1, and he came in as the withdrawn forward or the out and out attacking mid. And Clint Dempsey had been playing that role, and they pulled off the forward and moved Dempsey up to forward. And the dude came on and immediately started moving the ball really quickly, just taking 1 or 2 touches, boom, boom, getting the ball out to his teammates, and things looked more dynamic immediately. And it was really interesting because the energy level went up. Donovan started making more runs, or the dude was just finding him. They just looked better. And so the U.S. scored a goal shortly after that, and actually it was a really beautiful goal. And I don't know if it was Adu who initially won the ball, but or Michael Bradley, but one of our guys won the ball just outside our own 18, and there were a series of 3 quick passes between Adu, Bradley, and Alejandro Bedoya, who's another young guy. He's also 22 years old, like Adu. who's been playing pretty well in this tournament, who's playing right wing. But they made a nice series of three passes and it was all real quick one touch passes in the midfield there that got and Panama was high pressuring, so it broke the high pressure, and so the ball went, I think, from Adu to Bradley to Adu, back to Bradley, back to Bedoya, and there were two guys in there pressuring these guys, and so finally it reached a point where Bedoya had the ball and Adu was ahead of the two guys, and so he pushed it upfield for Adu, and Adu pushed it up into the center circle, took a couple touches and started going to his left, and Donovan, who had been playing on the left side, left wing, switched to the right and got forward, and Adu made a no look, 40-yard, 50-yard through ball over the top and behind the defender, and Donovan's running onto it. Donovan took the ball, had space in front of him, took two touches forward, and just hit a laser on the ground, far post, right to Dempsey, and actually through four defenders, nutmegged one defender. One defender was standing there, he like spread his legs and basically made himself a barrier, and Donovan just lined it up like he was playing, what do you play, croquet, and just boom, right between his legs, just pounded it, and Dempsey, far post 2 yards out, punched it in. And it wasn't an easy finish. Dempsey had a guy right on him, but it was just a beautiful goal. It was great to see that combination play, and it was fun to watch, and nice to see Adu play well. And then the rest of the match, actually, it was really interesting because the energy level for U.S. went way up, and Donovan I thought he played really well towards the end of the match. I thought Adu continued to play really well, continued to move the ball quickly. And actually showed some great skill getting the ball in corners and holding it. And so we ended up winning 1-0. And there was, I think, one possible chance for Panama at the end, but it felt like after that point that we had it wrapped up. So that was cool. I just spent a long time, what I've gone 7.5 minutes, just describing that goal. It was cool. I enjoyed it. The match was pretty boring, like I said. So anyway, then we're playing Mexico in the final. Mexico played Honduras. They went 0-0 at the end of full time, went into a 30-minute extra time, and Mexico scored twice in the first 10 minutes, on both of them off corner kicks. Chicharito, do you know who Chicharito is? Better. He's scored 7 goals in this tournament. He scored one of those corners. I thought he was offside on it, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so the U.S. plays Mexico Saturday at the Rose Bowl. I think it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern time, something like that. Maybe it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. So that should be fun. Looking forward to it. Anyway, had a couple meetings at work today, which were good. Actually, had a real good day at work, I think. The weather has cooled down, I think I said before, although it's still sunny, it's pretty breezy. Looks like we're headed out in 15 minutes. Don't have a lot more to share, so still dead. Oh, one more thing. You said that Nikki sent you photographs, and I'm expecting something. You can't build it up like that and say, oh, I commented that I didn't want to see a palm tree, so she sent me these other photographs, which I'm not going to tell you about, but I'm going to post, and then you don't post them. So if you don't post those photographs soon, you will be still dead.